Pardon the mixed metaphor, but in today's breaking news, Pete Hegseth is sitting on the hot seat inside of Donald Trump's House of Cards, and I have all the delightful details, including the proclamation of imminent danger coming up next. I'm Dan, and welcome to another Occupy Democrats report. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to see all of our videos documenting the Donald's House of Cards collapse. Let's begin with the Secretary of War Crimes boss. Watch as the bone-spurred commander-in-chief makes a bizarre reversal on releasing the video of the second Venezuelan boat strike.
Mr. President, you said you would have no problem with releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela. Secretary Hegseth now says...
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what happened?
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem.
Okay, so that's a DEFCON 1 Donald mess, but his press secretary is going to clean it up by answering Fox's simple question about the video, right? She'll be direct and promise transparency, and she won't pivot into an abyss of avoidance, right? Watch as Caroline Leavitt makes the mess messier by sprinting from the question.
Talk about what Secretary of War Pete Hegseth will be briefing the Gang of Eight, select House leaders as well as Senate, about what's going on with Venezuela. So, of course, there's this pressure to release the double tap, the second hit on that drug boat. And ultimately, the president says it's up to the Secretary of War whether he should do it or not. So your thoughts about releasing that tape?
Well, how refreshing that we have a commander-in-chief who trusts our Secretary of War and trusts Pentagon leadership to do the right thing by our warfighters. And I think it speaks to the depravity of the Democrat Party that they have stooped so low. They are attacking our military leadership. They are attacking the brave men and women who conducted these strikes well within the law, following the orders from their commander-in-chief. And let's not forget, these are drug boats. These are narco-terrorists. And in 2024, the GOP platform at the Republican Party convention written by President Trump and his team stated that we are going to, quote, demolish foreign drug cartels. President Trump campaigned on this. He is delivering on it. And every time President Trump and Secretary Hegseth and the White House are criticized for blowing up drug boats, we are thinking about Americans like Ann Funder, who lost her 15-year-old son, Weston, to a drug overdose. We are thinking of the hundreds of thousands of Americans across the country who have been riddled by this drug crisis in our own hemisphere, in our own backyard. And I think it's great President Trump is finally paying attention to it and taking strong action.
That was Leavitt saying everything's fine, just fine, nothing to see here. Well, Republican Senator John Kennedy says he wants to see in his painfully slow style. Have a look at that, followed by the Hegseth is in imminent danger declaration that just happened.
I'd ask Senator or Secretary now Rubio to just call a press conference and let him explain to the American people the legal basis for doing this. And I'd bring along Secretary Hegseth as well and just answer questions until people don't have any more questions.
I mean, this would be going from offering zero information to a press conference.
I think this is incredibly notable because of what we've all mentioned, that this is bipartisan. This is not just Democrats, right, hounding the administration for more answers. Why they're doing what they're doing in Venezuela, because they're going after narco traffickers, falls flat when you have the president pardoning one of the biggest narco traffickers that there is.
Let's bring into the conversation staff writer at The Atlantic covering national security and the Defense Department, Nancy Youssef.
Well, last week was a particularly bad week for the defense secretary. In addition to questions about this double tap strike, questions about the mission writ large and what impact it's actually having on drug trafficking into the United States. He was also sued by one of the victims of these strikes, by the family who said that this man wasn't a drug trafficker but a fisherman. He was sued by the New York Times for restricting reporters from covering the Pentagon. So he's faced a number of questions around his leadership, and they've all been sort of rooted in questions about his judgment. And so, as Jonathan points out, there isn't indications that he is in imminent danger, but you are seeing a lot of questions about his ability to conduct the job. And within the Pentagon, it's leading to, in some cases, resignations from people who are fearful that they will be in the position that Admiral Bradley was in, where they carry out an order and have to then carry the burden of that decision in a political climate and a command climate that the secretary himself created.
Hegseth embraced Trump's tough guy, lawless persona and issued illegal orders, and now he might pay the price as the fall guy. And since his career is at stake, and in the interest of fair and balanced reporting, I'll give Pentagon Pete the final word. It's something he once uttered when he was Objective Pete.
I got some response from vets on that saying you're not just going to follow that order if it's unlawful.
The military's not even going to follow his orders.
The military's not going to follow illegal orders. And so the Trump campaign was forced to change their position and say, we're going to try to change the law so that the military can operate within the law. That's a tall order also.